Reid Hoffman, you did philosophy at Oxford. What did you study at Stanford?
Cognitive science and artificial intelligence. Symbolic systems, it's called.
So you're a serious guy.
I try to be.
And you're one of the people, I think, in Silicon Valley who are able to stand back a little bit from the day-to-day business and the money and the gossip and think of the broader issues of what you can achieve and what you will achieve. Are you happy with what you've achieved so far in your life?
I'm happy with it, but I'm looking forward to achieving more.
What are you happy about so far?
So I think that a variety of, I think LinkedIn, if people use it actively, massively helps their professional life, not just what jobs and opportunities, but also how they can, what they can learn and how they can be a much better professional. But now that requires proactive usage, but you know, we're definitely on that vector. I think as an investor, I've invested in some of the companies that have added a lot of joy and delight and connection to people's lives. And I've also come to realize that entrepreneurship is not just this kind of interesting game, but it's something that's critical for society. And so because it's how we adapt to the future. And so I've actually added it to my cause side of my life as well. So I'm on the board of Kiva, which does microfinance through the internet, and I'm on the board of Endeavor, which identifies high-impact entrepreneurs in emerging market countries in order to help them create entrepreneurial cultures in those countries so that people take more control of their own destiny, and you know, you have more individual rights and people, you know, kind of rising to the occasion and all that sort of thing.
So what haven't you achieved that you want to achieve?
Well, you can always 10x the scale and everything. That's always nice.
But 10x isn't really the issue,
or
is
100x.
it?
I mean, well...
And what does that mean? You don't mean financially. You mean in terms of resonance, change.
So like take LinkedIn. You know, a lot of the 78 million people, if you ask them, they say, well, I actually principally use it for job searching and recruiting. That's a good use. But it could be used for a lot more. Right, and so that vectoring into that part of having people understand how to use the tool, that's something that we're working on. Helping figure out, like for example, I'll give you an example of a problem that I'm kicking around in my head is part of how we adapt to the future, we end up with cities that have economic problems, Detroit, Newark, etc. Can we figure out kind of a certain set of entrepreneurial playbooks by which we can help rejuvenate those cities, right? Ways that you could invest in the platform and the infrastructure of the city that started, you know, that got it back onto the, you know, kind of a contending path. And that'd be the kind of thing that sometime in the future I hope to help with.
What can entrepreneurs like yourself teach government in America in particular?
Well, I don't think it's just the U.S. Actually, the U.S. tends to be fairly entrepreneurial, but I think the key thing is recognizing the value of marketplaces and networks and platforms as distributed entities that you participate in as a helping the foundation as opposed to central planning. So opposed to, hey, we fund a program and you know we set up a funded body that kind of is a centralized organization that executes, it's we intervene and help create the ecosystem in the right way. And by doing that, you think of yourself as an architect, as a creator of foundations, as a creator of stimulus, as opposed to as the organization. Like, you know, we don't do the New Deal, we create new ecosystems.
Final question, you've got a minute to answer this. You spend a lot of time around entrepreneurs, you are an entrepreneur. What do you think entrepreneurs most need to learn?
Well, entrepreneurs are, if they're any good, they are learning people, right? Because every entrepreneurial activity is by definition somewhat unique or distinct, and you are learning that as you're doing it as an entrepreneur. And if it's not unique, you usually fail. So learning has to be part of it. Now, that being said, one of the things that I would hope to influence the class of entrepreneurs on is not just kind of how do you build these things because you love this technology or for yourself, but also how do you participate as a leader in society, where part of your creating new things is helping intervene in the society in the right way, and always have that as a question that you're thinking about in terms of what you're building. And some entrepreneurs do that naturally, some learn it, and hopefully the more and more that do, I think the better off we are.